Welcome to the Asbestos Knowledge Empire.
What does asbestos management mean to you?
I used to really struggle with the asbestos management at my site, but now it's a breeze.
It used to be really expensive. I was paying loads, but now I've got my asbestos power team in place. It's so much easier.
Asbestos can be a pain in the arse if not handled right.
We had to stop the job because asbestos was discovered. Now we don't have that problem.
Asbestos management is easier than you think. Asbestos management. Be proactive, not reactive. Think about asbestos first, not last.
And now your hosts, best-selling authors and asbestos experts, Ian Stone and Neil Munro.
Hi and welcome to the Asbestos Knowledge Empire. My name's Neil Munro.
I'm Ian Stone.
So today we're going to be talking about specifications for asbestos removal works. What's the point? What's the point of them? Why do we need them?
Surely asbestos removal is just asbestos removal, right?
Yeah, it's like you want your wall painted, you just paint the wall.
Yeah.
It's clear cut as that?
Yeah, probably not. Do you know what? But saying about painting walls, I mean, that's straight off. You wouldn't just say, can you paint my wall, please?
Yeah.
Because you need to know what colour, what paint to be used. Do you want an eggshell, a satin? Do you want the skirtings glossing, blah, blah, blah. So again, straight away, it's like pick holes in just painting a wall.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. It's like if you're going to build a house, you'd never just go and build the house, would you?
No, because there's a million different ways that you can build a house.
Exactly.
I couldn't even build a house. Don't ask me to build a house.
A man of your talent, surely.
So yeah, asbestos removal, what is the point of specifications for it? Well, it's that in a nutshell. There's a million different ways to do asbestos removal. There's a million different ways to look at the project.
Yeah.
There's a whole heap of things that you should consider when having works done.
The sole purpose of the specification is to get the client's or your exact end result.
Yeah.
What exactly you want the outcome to be.
And you need to look at it kind of holistically as well and think about not just, say, for instance, you were having boiler replacement works undertaken. The main purpose of that project is to get rid of the boilers that are no longer working properly and have them replaced with up-to-date new boilers.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it. However, there's a lot of other things in and around asbestos management that wouldn't be thought about with that project. Because when you look at that project, just with your blinkers on of, right, well, all the pipes have got to come out, the walls got to be cleaned, and the boilers have got to be replaced.
Yeah.
That's just one little element.
And that's a common one that happens, isn't it? It's like
massively.
The asbestos duty holder is not always involved with the planning of works, and they end up getting a bit of a bitter end out of what happens during those works.
They inherit
that's the word,
issues afterwards.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you think about a boiler room where that project is needed, but say, for instance, it's got an asbestos insulating board ceiling in that boiler room.
Yeah.
Now, as part of the boiler replacement works, that ceiling doesn't have to be touched. It doesn't have to be replaced. Nothing. It doesn't need to be looked at.
Yes.
So it's kind of excluded. However, from the duty holder's point of view, and from a cost point of view, it might be cheaper in the long run and better to get that ceiling removed as well as all the other asbestos there. Yeah. But because we're just looking at the boiler replacement and pipe replacement, we're not thinking about that.
Yeah.
But overall, the duty holder and the asbestos manager might have a different view.
Need to be involved with those decisions, don't they?
Definitely. I mean, another instance would be boiler replacement works, pipe replacement works. At the moment, the pipes come into the boiler room or feed the property via ducts, shallow ducts. However, the new system they're going to put in, they're going to go straight through one of the walls and straight through and then feed the building that way. They don't need ducts anymore for this particular project. So again, all they're planning to do as part of their works is, well, we don't need to go down there. We're going to chop the pipes off at the top. We're going to seal over that duct. That's it. Job done as far as the boiler team are concerned.
Yeah.
But there might be other cables, other things, other feeds, water feeds, all this kind of stuff that's going through that area. And if there's an issue with that, well, that issue's still there. And the problem being, if you come back to do a project on the ducts at a later date, or like I say, the asbestos insulating board at a later date, you're kind of paying twice for a proportion of that work.
Yeah.
Because when we do asbestos removal, a large proportion of the cost is the setup of the formal enclosure, the days that it takes to sheet everything out and build the airlocks and get the decontamination unit on site, etc.
And clean down the areas.
Yeah, and clean down the areas, exactly. So to actually add in the removal of the ceiling, yeah, it'd be an extra bit of money.
Yeah.
But you're not paying for that setup twice. You're not paying for the clean down twice, because it's kind of incorporated and can be included in there.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of, so basically what you're saying there is, if you're looking at projects, always look at future stuff, future management, and incorporate sort of the duty holder within those decisions, and not just look at it as a single project basis.
Yeah, I mean, I've also seen boiler rooms where the boilers have been replaced, the side room isn't needed, but it's contaminated.
Yeah.
And they've kind of said, well,
Don't bother with that bit.
bit.
Yeah, yeah.
However,
That's very common.
Another project team has got a plan in 6 months that they're going to be installing mobile phone equipment or Wi-Fi equipment or something in there.
Yeah, need to run a cable through it.
Yeah, need to run a
Stuff
cable
like
through it
that.
and all the rest of it. And then you've still got that same problem, that same issue on site that's got to be tackled again and again and again.
There is always going to be budget restraints. We get that.
Yes.
It's just, if you do know there's a possibility of future projects, or there's a possibility you need to get into a certain area or do something, always plan it in and consider it whenever you're doing works, basically.
Yeah.
So going back to the specifications then. So specifications, why is it so important to specify asbestos removal jobs?
Well, first and foremost, it's to incorporate everything that you want to happen. So if you have been incorporated in the project and you do want this including, that including, whatever including, that it actually goes in there.
Yeah.
But also so that
The end result.
What is the end result? What
Yeah.
does the end result look like? And you need that specification to kind of outline and outlay exactly what you want to happen, so that anybody coming to price for those works can price on a like-for-like basis.
Yeah. That does tally back to the end result is two different parties may have the end result in completely different sides of the agenda, couldn't they? So like when you're talking about the removal contractor or, the refurb contractor is going to have a different sort of idea of what his end result looks like compared to the duty holder's end result looks like. And it's meeting those compromises in the middle that a specification can sort of gear everyone towards.
Yes, it does. It just lays everything out.
Yeah.
It gets everybody to the common ground and the common cause of what is the point of this project and what does completed actually look like.
Yeah. And we've not obviously spoken about the asbestos contractor and why it's so important to get those working to the specification. Because as we know, removal contractors will look at a job completely different to each other sometimes, don't they?
Definitely.
And that's really, I think, the message that we're trying to get across for this is really important to get the specs right for the asbestos removal contractor, because if you want the consistency in pricing and the guaranteed end result, the specification is the only way to sort of hang them on that, isn't it?
That's king at the end of the day. You could ask a contractor to undertake asbestos removal of, talk about boiler rooms and ALB ceilings again.
I think they're the real contentious one, isn't it? It's plant rooms and boiler rooms where if you're removing asbestos floor tiles, generally...
No, even with that. Floor tiles. My floor tile's gone, and because I'm laying a new floor, they've also got bitumen down. One contractor would price to just remove the floor tiles. One would price to remove the floor tiles and get a machine in to take up the bitumen. And again, that's the kind of the spec element of, you just said you wanted your tiles gone. And another one's gone, well, yeah, but asbestos needs to be all fully gone. And again, if it's not fully outlined, you'll get two different jobs out of that.
Yeah.
For boiler rooms, like you say, if there's insulation residue and pipe work and all the rest of it, well, one contractor would allow to scrape and wire brush the walls, but if you can't get everything off the walls, then he's going to be encapsulating those walls.
How's clean is clean?
How clean is clean? That's the number one question. That is a quote.
How clean do you want it?
Yeah, every supervisor ever, that's their first thing that they say to you when you're an analyst doing a clearance. How clean do you want it, mate? It's like, well,
I want it clean.
I want it clean. Let's look at what your method statement says.
Yeah.
And what's the spec say?
Yeah, but how far do you want to go?
Exactly that.
But there shouldn't be questions that can be asked at that stage.
Yeah.
If you've put a specification in correctly, that there's no wiggle room. There's no questioning what needs to be done because it's all there in writing and it's been costed for and it's been allowed for, it's been programmed in, it's within the plan of works and it's all follows all the way through to the completion of the project.
Exactly that. Everything should be in black and white.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any grey.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with asbestos removal works. Definitely not.
Another example. So an asbestos ceiling in the tiles where you've got a grid system. Again, one contractor would look at pricing it to remove the asbestos insulating board tiles and then drill out the grid and leave the grid in situ. Another contractor would look at dropping the tiles and the grid as well. And again, that gives you kind of two issues. One, if you were planning on using that grid for your new ceiling and your ceiling's gone, you've just got a massive addition to your budget.
Yeah, because you've got to replace that. And the point would be, like, some contractors would look at, it's easier to rip out the timbers than actually have operative drilling them out and cleaning them. It's actually quicker to rip them out. That's kind of what some contractors look at it.
Yeah.
It's
easier because there's less to clean.
Yeah, less for the analyst to look at, so it speeds up the clearance.
Yeah. So again, there's kind of all those things to think about of what do you need for your project.
Exactly. If you don't want to pay for replacing the timbers, then you're going to pay for the contractor to clean them.
Yeah. That's it really in a nutshell. It's the specifications there to make sure you get what you want and that everybody's pricing on a level playing field.
Yeah. Definitely, and it guarantees somewhat the end result of what you want, and you're not then being driven by the asbestos removal contractor, because that's what they like to do. If they've not given a spec, they'll price the job how they want to price it.
Definitely.
And they'll steer you into the ways that maybe not is best for you, but is best for them.
Best for them, either to do and carry out, or best for their pocket.
Yeah.
Are the two kind of ways.
Yeah, definitely. However, if you're telling them what to do at the front end, and obviously take their advice, because at the end, we're not saying that contractors will a bad or want to do a bad job, but
no, but they're asbestos removal contractors. They're not asbestos consultants.
No,
and that's the difference. I think when we look at projects, that's what we kind of do. We speak to the client and the duty holder and have all those in-depth conversations about, right, well, what's the point of this project? Explain to me why, the how, the what fors, whereas contractors do removal.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. They will come and give you a price for removal.
Yeah, that's essentially our job. Our job as consultants in that arena is to get what the client wants and their end result at the end of the day. So yeah, definitely. Specifications are really important.
They are. And for smaller projects, you might be happy putting the specification together yourself, or you might need assistance on the smaller jobs, or you might just want somebody to help. So I would definitely speak to your consultant and get them to help and assist you with that, because like we say, if you haven't got the right specification, you're not going to get the right job and you're not going to get it done for the right price. I hope you enjoyed that one. Remember, asbestos first, not last.